Even Liv Morgan has crushes. In this video, we're going to be breaking down the crush in which she once had on a WWE star, a very, very prominent WWE star that I find to be interesting because Liv Morgan does have a unique connection with the WWE audience. She is beloved by many. She's had a very, very long and loyal support fan base that has literally been a ride or die with Liv Morgan her entire WWE career. So it's quite ironic that she actually has a crush. Now, Liv Morgan is in a on-air romantic relationship, I guess you could call it, with Dominik Mysterio. They've started to really push the envelope in terms of what they're doing as a couple, because keep in mind, Dominik Mysterio is actually married. And this has been a talking point among some fans of, well, how can a married man do that? How can he be with someone on television? It is professional wrestling. It is quote unquote sports entertainment. This is theatrics, right? Now, in recent months, Lib and Dom, they've done a little bit more kissing, and that has gotten a lot of people talked up. Now, Liv Morgan, she actually was in a previous relationship with a WWE star, Bo Dallas. They were together for a few years there, and then they eventually split. Okay, now she talked about her relationship status earlier this year in an interview and revealed that she was single. I don't know if that's changed since then, and honestly, I really don't care. Point is, you can have an on-screen relationship, you can have an off-screen relationship, obviously, in your personal life, and that's what we are dealing with here with Liv and Dominik. Now, Complex recently did an interview with Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio, in which Liv talked about her past crushes, who she's kind of liked in the past, and which is interesting because we've known for years that WWE stars will date one another, right? Back in the day, that was always a point of confrontation in terms of like when we had the brand split, would couples be on the same brand? Because WWE's always done a very good job with, hey, if you're married, all right, we'll keep you on your same brand. But if you are dating, we don't care about your relationship type of situation. Now, in recent years, it's not necessarily the biggest of deals, considering that WWE rarely runs house shows. So you're really only working maybe once, twice a month, depending on the month. And of course, you have your international travel, but still, one talent is working Monday, one talent is working Friday, and you're both working Saturday. So it's not that big of a deal. But while speaking with Complex, Liv Morgan did reveal that she did have a crush on John Cena, which John Cena, hey, he dated Nikki Bella in years past, right? CM Punk has dated several fellow WWE stars. Obviously, he married AJ Lee, and this is what she had to say. Uh, Actually, they said, when we had you on the show, you said John Cena was a big influence on you. She said, not anymore, in regards to not having a crush on him and everything alike. Liv Morgan having a crush on John Cena is interesting, but I also don't see it being surprising, right? I can see how he would have an influence on her, but there's a little bit of an age gap. Obviously, John Cena is married now, and it's something in which I don't think it's ever going to pursue to anything. But hey, if Liv had a crush, as Complex noted in this interview, as she said, not anymore, not having an influence on her, anything according like that's, it is what it is. Now, let's shift gears to Liv Morgan. Let's shift gears to seeing where Liv Morgan is at in her WWE tenure, her WWE status, if you will. 2025 has actually been a very interesting year for Liv Morgan. Think about it. She has gone from a top singles star, your women's world champion, obviously losing said championship to Rhea Ripley on the Raw Netflix premiere episode in January, and she's pivoted. And I highly praise WWE for doing so. I praise Liv for accepting this role of, okay, if I cannot be the top single star in WWE, or at least the top single star on Monday Night Raw, then I'm going to be the top tag team star, right? with these women's tag team titles, I think it's very important to note that it depends on who's the champion. If you have two top tier champions that have name recognition, star power, trolling ability, they're popular, or they have a ton of heat, then the titles mean something, right? Like you look at, okay, when Jay and Bianca were champions, titles were defended regularly, right? In some instances, probably shouldn't have been defended, but they were, right? You look at Naomi and Sasha Banks, you look at Bailey and Sasha Banks. Heck, even if you go back to the Iconics, if WWE likes the champions, which I know this sounds weird, right? Because you would think championships held in high regard, importance to the company, but that's not always the case. But if you look at the way that they book these tag team titles, it's if WWE cares about the champions and they care about the titles. Okay. So if you have high profile names, your Jade's, your Bianca's, your Naomi's, your Sasha's, or your Liv Morgan's and your Raquel Rodriguez's, titles mean something. Titles are featured on television, whether that's backstage segments or in the ring. They have storylines, they have feuds, they have programs, and those champions are utilized heavily. Well, that works out for Liv, right? Because if you can't be the top single star instead of being a second or third place type of talent, why don't you just pivot over to a different avenue? And if you really look at, I would say, uh, a quarter left of Liv Morgan's reign as women's world champion. I think the narrative was, okay, let's really try to get Raquel Rodriguez over. And now, in retrospect, we know why. We know that WWE was just simply trying to build her up because they did have these plans for her to be a tag team player. They also wanted to get Raquel over. And if you look at Raquel's NXT run, she was heavily featured, right? She looked great in NXT and looked like she could be a main roster player. And she had some starts and stop pushes because of her, uh, uh, I don't know if it's a skin condition or a health condition. I don't know, but her skin is very sensitive. And so she had start and stop pushes, but ever since she was brought back to WWE TV and paired with Liv Morgan, she's been off to the races. And I think she's absolutely crushed in her Diesel-esque, bodyguard-esque character, right? Like that's what she does for Liv. That's what she does for Liv. And I think as long as you continuously push that, I think she's going to be A-okay. So I really do enjoy what WWE is doing with Liv and Raquel as a tag team, and I look forward to seeing what is next for them. I wish, though, they would defend the titles just a little bit more often, but hey, take it where you can.